Lady Bird is directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Sayol Swara. What the fuck? Hang on. Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf, Tracy Letts, Lucas Hedges and Timothy Chalamet. And it tells the story of Christine, who prefers to be called Lady Bird because she has red hair. Well, that's my guess anyway. So she's hoping to get into a really fancy college in New York that she can't really afford, and has to navigate the perils of the final days of high school, like her friends keeping her from being more popular, boys trying to figure out her true interests, boys, her mum being annoying, and boys. The things girls have to deal with, eh, lads? Being serious for a minute, though, like as a high schooler myself, I can say a lot of this film, it really did strike me as like realistic and relatable and kind of heartwarming in a way. You know, I often found myself comparing it to things I've actually gone through, and yeah, it's really quite touching if you, although I suppose that's some sort of bias because I'm still in high school, but I don't know. So yeah, and it even manages to separate itself from a lot of coming-of-age stories by not focusing too much on any one particular part of growing up, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of coming-of-age stories will just be about one particular thing. You know, like, if the protagonist is a girl, it's probably going to be about boys, let's be honest. Although others, it's the best friend being a douchebag, or their grades slipping, or there's a dance coming up and they don't look good enough or something. But no, Lady Bird does kind of separate itself out in that regard by not focusing too much on any one aspect, and it doesn't feel like messy or scatterbrained for it, so that's good. But unfortunately, it's kind of let down somewhat by Lady Bird herself, and she's not inherently unlikable, and Saoirse Ronan does an absolutely fantastic job playing her. There were several moments where I just couldn't stand her. I mean, she really can be a total bitch sometimes, and I know that's kind of the point in those moments, and some people will say that they think she's fine. She's completely understandable and not being a bitch, but those people would be wrong. And in a film like this, it's hardly ever a good idea to have your audience actively start hating your protagonist. And there's people who say that it's understandable, or at least reasonable, or at least understandable, but I didn't get it. She's just kind of a bitch sometimes. And I understand that I don't exactly have the highest qualifications to... No, that's not a good word. I understand that I don't exactly have the highest authority to judge that, because being a 17-year-old... Oh yeah, I'm 17 now. It was my birthday this last week, so... Yeah, I'm 17 now. I'm sure dementia will start setting in any day, because fuck, I feel old. But anyway, so being a 17-year-old virgin who spends the majority of his days cooping himself in his house playing video games in his pyjamas and writing these bloody reviews, I know I don't exactly have the highest authority to talk about what is and is not reasonable for, 17, 18-year-old girls. And hell, I don't know, maybe Lady Bird was just supposed to be on her period all those times, I don't know, but the bottom line is there were several moments where I just didn't like her. Although fortunately, the film's amazingly acted, like I said before, and I wouldn't have been upset if any of them were won at the Oscars. Yeah, can you tell I also wrote this one before the Oscars actually happened. Who I was upset about being nominated at the Oscars was Greta Gerwig, the writer and director, and she did a great job writing, for the most part, but I can't really say the same for her directing efforts. It just looks... The film just isn't that interesting to look at, really. It's quite blandly shot, and yeah, it just doesn't... It's just a bit boring to look at, and I didn't see anything too special about... Like, I can't imagine a really wild, well, imagination was behind this, so yeah. And I've already been made well aware that, you know, everyone else bloody loves this film, and you know, it's not to say I didn't like it, I did like it, it's just, you know, like I said, kind of flatly directed, but it's really well acted, really well written, so yeah, it's still good, but good is where it stays for me. I'm going to give Lady Bird a 7 out of 10. And sure, maybe I just need to transform myself into a 17-year-old girl, or at least know something between jack and shit about them to truly appreciate this film. But as a 17-year-old virgin who blah 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 blah, I already said this, I can't say that I understood the massive amounts of hype for this one. So, yeah. So guys, have you seen Lady Bird? What did you think of it? Or are there any other Saoirse Ronan movies I should watch? Because, you know, I think she's damn talented from seeing her in this, but yeah. So whatever it is, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.